I say all the time that Walt Disney has his characters on Main Street, so do we.
We are back along Missouri's Highway 36 corridor, also known as the Way of American Genius, in Marceline, Missouri. Located in Lynn County with a population of just over 2,000 people, Marceline is a small town with a rich past, thanks mostly to its role as a bustling railroad community. It also happens to be the boyhood home of the one and only Walt Disney. But more on that later. Though passenger trains no longer stop here, Marceline's soundtrack can still be described as the rumbling of freight trains and a near constant train whistle. Explore the town today and you'll find a historic Main Street district with unique shops, restaurants, and museums eager to welcome visitors and share their stories.
As they say, it's small town America perfectly imagined. And we hear that a lot from our visitors that come in and visit Marceline.
You can create big things and have big ideas and live in a small town.
I would say it's just an inspiring place to be if you want your actions and words to make a difference.
Marceline started out as a melting pot because of the railroading and the mining, coal mining. And then we had all these unique traditions because people came from so many different countries. And we still hold on to a lot of those traditions today. I love that.
We certainly have a unique story. We're the only community in the world that has that hook that we can hang our hat on and say, we're Walt Disney's hometown. Not that we claimed that, Walt claimed that.
Marceline is the first time Walt experienced school. He saw his first movie here in Marceline. He saw his first live theatrical stage production in Marceline, which was a traveling production of Peter Pan, starring Maude Adams. Bob Thomas wrote a biography on Walt, and the second chapter starts off with this line. It says, Walt Disney remembered nothing of his time in Chicago, but the memories of Marceline would stay with him throughout the rest of his life.
The leaving of Marceline, that left a huge impression on him. And Walt really spent the rest of his life trying to recreate those Marceline years in his movies and in his parks. So Walt really never left us.
Of course, Marceline wasn't always known as the hometown of Walt Disney. Once upon a time, Walt was just an ordinary guy, but for generations now, the world has witnessed his magic. Once the Disney name spread, people became curious. Who was Walt Disney? What inspired him? These questions undoubtedly led visitors to Marceline, a community that changed Walt's life. So how did Marceline, a tiny rural community in America's heartland, adjust to this growing attention?
Disney fans would come to Marceline, and they would go to City Hall and say, is there anything that we can see here? Well, we had the story and we had the locations, but we weren't organized yet. We were gifted 3,000 artifacts by Walt's sister Ruth, and we promised her we would tell the story of her family here in Marceline, and we opened the museum.
You know, Walt mentioned many times of his affection for Marceline, and he only lived here a short time. But he came back over the years many times. He had a soft spot in his heart for this town.
The Disney draw brings a lot of people in, but once they get here, you'll find a very vibrant downtown.
For a town this size, to have a booming Main Street like this is very rare.
We don't have businesses closing, we have new ones opening. It gives me hope that we have a bright future ahead.
I really think that there's a lot of opportunity here. I know at our school, we're always looking for good teachers. A lot of times those are people that come back because they have their hearts set on being here. We're not a stepping stone for a lot of people. We're where they want to land.
This bell game, I've seen a time when one school can be 9-0, the other can be 0-9. You don't have a 9-7 game. I mean, it's that close.
It's a big rivalry over a bell that came off of a fire engine. You can hear it ringing in the background, and who's the winner of this game gets to keep that bell for a year.
There's been times when Marceline has something catch on fire downtown. Brookfield trucks are here in 10 minutes.
People are pushing this place in the right direction. With a mix of younger people and people who have been around trying to do this stuff for a long time, we're all getting together and trying to make sure that we can create a sustainable place for our kids to grow up and then whoever wants to stay.
They're innovative in their ideas.
Challenges are opportunities to rethink, retool, and redesign where we might want to go in the future.
On a Saturday and Sunday now compared to maybe years ago, it's pretty vibrant around here. You can get something to eat and you can go shopping. It's not as big as a city, but it feels more homegrown because it's right here in a small business.
Looking at it from the outside, I think people would see that we're pretty vibrant here in Marceline.
As Marceline continues to propel itself into the future, between their growing downtown activities, increasing tourism, and energetic people, all signs are pointing to success. This community is an example of how a small town dedicated to preserving their main street, sharing their stories of the past, and engaging tourists and residents can be successful without bigger city amenities. It's no wonder Walt Disney was inspired to emulate Marceline for his park's Main Street USA. But for the real deal Marceline effect, well, you'll just have to come see for yourself.
I think the connection to Walt Disney is key. It shows that this is a place where dreams can happen. As a city, take that and create an environment, a positive environment, where people are doing good things and we have it going on, and we can spread that across the world.